And good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Sunday evening update on this Sunday, February 8th. Yes, this is your place to get all the news about life extension and research from around the world. We always have the best guests, and this week we have a very special pair of guests. Bruce Klein and Susan Fonseca Klein, founders of the Immortality.Institute and currently on the management team of the Singularity University. And we're going to try out something special here tonight, and that is a live video feed of the two of them at the Bill conference. If you know, the Bill is an what do they call it? An unconference. That's it. That goes alongside of TED. TED is the big fancy conference, that gets all the big speakers, and Bill is little cousin conference, and that's where Bruce and Susan are at this moment. And because we're broadcasting live, and I think I'm not sure where they're at the Bill conference there, but and it might have an unreliable connection at times. We're going to jump right into the interview, and I want everyone to make sure that they have their questions ready for Bruce and Susan about the Singularity University, or perhaps about other things they've done throughout the years. They've been a wonderful couple promoting life extension and other things. So whatever questions you might have, then please state them in the text chat. I will start out introducing them and ask a couple of questions, but we'll see how long we can keep them on the line here. So nice of them to come along for our Sunday evening update on this Sunday, February 8th. Now, I am going to see about getting them here on the screen so you can see our wonderful guests here for tonight. Yeah, the first time here on the Sunday evening update program with live video. Bruce and Susan, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Appreciate you having us.
Yeah, I just want to make sure again here that you're hearing me loud and clear. Yes?
We are.
Great.
Perfect.
Okay, and in case viewers didn't notice, on the left, that is Bruce, and on the right is Susan. There you go. And as I mentioned, founders of the Immortality Institute and on the management team of the just announced Singularity University. There it is. Yeah. Hey, Bruce, I've got some special graphics I can show while we're doing the interview as well. But yeah, it's nice to see your card. We've got a lot of viewers here tonight that perhaps could be potential future students of the Singularity University. Okay, first off, I just want to start with a general overall description for those who did not read the news this week or go to the website as of yet. Bruce, why don't you start out, give us a little description, and I'll show some shots of the website.
Sure, I'd be happy to. So, the general idea behind the Singularity University is that it will be a real, questions that people ask me, will it be real or virtual? But we will have a real campus at NASA Ames, and that will be in the heart of Silicon Valley in Moffett Field. And it will have our first summer classes starting this late June, and it'll be 9 weeks. And we'll have slots for 30 students.
And you said it starts June 27th. Is that it? June 27th.
Susan, actually, he's doing.
Yeah,
Susan is the brain. She's the real brains behind the operation, so she can tell you the real details and the real juicy part of what's going on.
Yeah, well, Susan, why don't you tell us now? I know there are 3 different academic tracks here that are beginning this year, correct? And that one is the first one that Bruce mentioned, 30 students, they're graduate level, correct? What else do we have?
So the first summer program, grad level students, and then there will be an executive program, a 3-day, what we call C-level, which is for CEOs, CTOs of companies. And they will come for 3 days starting this fall and be advised as to what's at the state of the frontier in all of these accelerating technologies. And then a 10-day executive program for officers and managers of corporations. A lot of venture capital funds that want to send their officers and managers. And they have a couple more days than the CEOs and CTOs. So that's our second executive program starting in the fall. And they will also be involved in learning what is at the frontier and what's the state of the art coming out this year or next year or 2 years, so that their companies can be well advised as to what maybe to put their money in, or how to learn more about a certain area of technology, or network with the right kind of folks that could help their businesses. And in turn, the businesses could help solve grand challenges. That's the whole point of this university.
Okay, yeah, and I wanted to ask a little bit about the cost now. What about for graduate students that are all, I know a handful of them already that are all jazzed up about going to Singularity University. What about the cost for the graduate level program?
It's not an inexpensive program at $25,000 for 9 weeks, but with that you get room and board, and you get a real high quality experience. Now, we are going to do our best to have sponsorship to help with defray the cost, and we're actively working towards that. But
Sponsorship, also some scholarship money as well?
Yes.
Yeah, the goal would be for what we really want are obviously the brightest students and minds from around the world to come and help us innovate and problem solve on humanity's greatest challenges around the world: poverty, hunger, AIDS, as well as risks inherent with new technologies. And we don't want to prevent somebody who can't pay. It is a lot of money, $25,000 for 9 weeks. So we are actively looking for companies to sponsor a student and have, hopefully in the near future, all of our students on some type of scholarship, if not full scholarship. But right now it really will depend on our corporate partners for donations.
Right, and the main funders, what companies got behind the Singularity University? It was the X Prize, if I remember reading correctly, and then also Google. Did they partner up on this as well?
So thus far we have as our lead corporate sponsor Google, who's right next door to us in Silicon Valley. They're right near NASA Ames, so they're a perfect partner with their interest in leading edge technologies, of course. And we're reaching out to others in the Silicon Valley area and around the world, really, to help support what we think is a fairly unique organization. And as Susan says and mentions, it's unique in the fact that we're looking across a number of different technologies and how to apply those in unique ways to tackle some of the grand challenges that face us. Of which is sort of important to the Immortality.Institute, which is life extension, and you just don't know what can happen when you bring really brilliant people together and find new ways of using technology to attack these problems.
Okay, one thing I wanted to bring up that some people mentioned discussions about the Singularity University is that it seems to be focused on accelerating change, whereas in some corners of thought here, Singularity, there are a handful of different terms that could fit the bill Singularity, like intelligence explosion, accelerating change. I can't remember. There's at least three. And what do you say about some people who said that, or who are afraid that you're only going to focus on accelerating change?
In terms of, looking back to when we created the university, that was a big debate, a big discussion, and ultimately we decided to rest upon the deep work that Ray Kurzweil has put into thinking about this concept, that if you look back not only on the past decades and centuries, but all of the history of our existence, you can see the patterns of change are accelerating, and that life itself is an accelerator towards the creation of new technologies.
Sure.
And a great example, prime example, is Moore's Law, of which you can buy. I just bought a video camera 2 days ago, and I paid about $1,000 for it. and it almost made me cry because I bought the same camera, same style, and the same sort of quality of camera 4 years ago for nearly $5,000. But it's an example of how that type of accelerating change is going to lead.
Right.
If you think it's not going to end, it's going to lead to something, and we're calling that something a singularity.
Okay. Let me just show people here. I'm going to switch over to my webcam to show the $5,000 camera that you purchased a couple of years ago. Because I have it here. I have it here in the studio, and it is a wonderful camera. But it is amazing that nowadays you can get the same thing. In fact, better quality for $1,000, and it's most likely run on a hard drive. I imagine you have hard drive instead
No
of
tapes. It's cheaper. Yeah, I don't have any tapes. It's cheaper, and you got 48 hours of hard drive storage on the camera. So it's amazing.
It's wonderful. Yeah. Okay. So you would tell people who are critical of just because obviously Kurzweil has focused on accelerating change, whereas other people focus more, when they talk about singularity, they talk more about artificial intelligence or intelligence explosion. But the Singularity University, I anticipate that it is going to be more all-encompassing of all the different kind of branches of, say, singularity.
Yeah, I mean, Susan could probably speak to this. It's not simply going to be artificial intelligence. It will be across the board.
It is across the board, right? Okay.
10 different tracks, and
Sure.
10 different tracks.
You might want to put them on the website.
Yeah, I can bring it up on a picture here. The different tracks, I believe we've got future studies and forecasting, correct?
Right.
Future studies and forecasting, networks and computing systems, biotechnology and bioinformatics, nanotechnology, medicine, neuroscience, and human enhancement.
Let me stop you right there.
Yeah.
Justin, right there. That one is one where it's very sort of near to my heart, and I'm excited about it because I challenge you to find any other university in the world that is really explicitly talking about going beyond what is normal, and thinking about how to really, tackle these challenges. And I think
like a normal human lifespan is what you're saying, or normal human capabilities.
yes, exactly.
Yes. No university is really talking about that, except perhaps Oxford, maybe, in UK. I don't know.
In a very sort of limited degree, but we're, it's a significant part of our curriculum is to talk about how we are going to go beyond what we are currently and our abilities currently to tackle.
I think this is a good question for Susan. Someone mentioned housing here. Students that are going to go there, where are they going to be housed? What kind of facilities are there? Technical question here.
So NASA Ames has both the dorm-like, it was an old Navy location.
Like
lodge.
barracks or
So
something? Okay.
Yeah, barracks. Well, they're not actually barracks. They kind of look like typical dorm rooms.
Okay.
So there's one that's kind of a dorm facility. There's another that's a hotel. So we are looking right now for this first summer to put our students in what's called one of the hotels or lodges that are like your typical hotel room. And one person per hotel. They're right on the research park, right next to the classes and campus. So it's very nice. I mean, it's not the Four Seasons or the West End, but it's but it's very nice, and you're there
Sure.
with your entire team, and meals will be provided as well, 3 times a day for the 9 weeks that you're there.
Okay. Another question here from the audience that came in is there are some apparently some journals of like post-scarcity studies. Will there be any tracks in this area addressing the structural unemployment that comes with the natural evolutionary phase of superabundance and accelerating change and artificial intelligence? Obviously, humans are going to be unemployed. It would seem. Is there a track that fits under that realm of thought?
Definitely be under the future study and forecasting track. And the first track is, and
I would think it would fit in law, policy, and ethics.
also a bit of policy and ethics as well. So
Okay.
And that's the beauty of what we're looking at right now is the tracks and the topics are developing. So if there are ideas that are out there, contact us at university and we can
Yeah,
work together.
that's a fantastic topic to consider. And one of the things we're doing is we're also allowing our track chairs, our curriculum advisors, to really give us the focus of what most of the educational syllabus and model will look like. So we're letting them lead the way as they're the visionaries in their own fields. But we do want to keep in mind what the community wants to know and wants to consider and wants this kind of dialogue. So yeah, please send us great comments like this
Okay.
to the website. Yeah.
Sure, excellent. Yeah, and I just want to remind people who are tuning in tonight, got a great crowd here. If you have any questions for Bruce or Susan, please ask them. And then someone else asked, will it be every 9 weeks? And I believe I can answer this question. It's a 9-week course once a year to start out?
Correct.
Correct.
Correct. A summer program, 9-week summer,
Summer
every summer at NASA Ames. Hopefully 4 executive programs. We're working on the logistics of that. We're modeling a lot of our structure off of the International Space University, which has 20 years of existence, and they, after several years of doing the summer program, moved into a 1-year master's program, and now we'll be launching a PhD level. So there's hope in the future that we could grow into if we're successful this summer and prove of concept and prove that this is something people are interested in. It has value not only to the folks that come but to the world, because the whole point of this is to focus our energy, vision, and talents and technology on solving problems that help humanity.
Sure.
So if we can prove that that's a great model, there's potential for discussion of year-round research or of a master's degree, but that's obviously in a couple of years when we've proven that this works. Right now, it's just a 9-week summer course every
Sure.
summer.
Okay, someone asks, what do you get after completion of the course? A certification, some sort of degree? What's the deal there?
Right now, we're looking at a certificate from the university. We are working with some of the universities as well to help students get course credits. It'll probably be like an elective credit, but at least some type of credit as if you went to summer class, summer school. But what you would get is a certificate. No accreditation right now. We still would have to prove ourselves and go through the normal academic accreditation process.
You mean with all the famous people and all the wonderful and all the professors and all the successful entrepreneurs that are behind this effort, you couldn't just get accredited right off the bat?
I would love to. We're working on it. Believe me, we are working on seeing how we can do it.
Okay.
But you also get a pool of a wonderful network, as you can imagine.
Yeah. I looked at
your team. Yeah.
I looked at some of the people that would be research fellows or advisors, faculty, and I saw Aubrey de Grey, of course, and then Ray Kurzweil as the chancellor, and just a whole big name of who's who when it comes to accelerating change and singularity. So yeah, wonderful group of instructors and advisors that I see has come about so far. Also, another question here. Is the Singularity University planning on associating or collaborating directly with any other universities, perhaps in some sort of research manner or curriculum?
Nothing specific, but we are working very closely with great faculty from Stanford University, obviously some folks from MIT through Ray.
Okay.
We've got folks that have come on board offering to help as guest lecturers or to advise on curriculum from Berkeley, Carnegie Mellon. So there's great folks from a lot of the leading universities that have offered their assistance and help on the academic model of the curriculum. So yeah, we're working with individuals and with great collaboration with some of these universities.
Yeah, and here's a little personal question. I mean, you guys how is it working with and collaborating with Ray Kurzweil and Peter Diamandis? How do you say his last name?
Diamandis, yeah.
Diamandis.
Did well.
Diamandis. Oh, okay.
They're absolutely. It is a pleasure working with both of those guys. They're not only fun, they're really fun to work with. Ray has an unbelievable sense of humor. He's really funny, actually. And
Nice.
and Peter is just such a visionary. Both are, and so it's been an honor for us to be entrusted to help them with this and work with them on a day-to-day. They're truly generous people and wonderful to work. I have no problem with either one. They're unbelievable to work with. As well as I should give a nod to our executive director, Salim Ismail, who's our current ED,
Okay.
worked at Yahoo Brickhouse. He's also amazing to work with. And as Bruce can tell, we've had our Frisbee playing time while we think of these creative ideas for the
Sure.
university on the NASA Research Park. So it's been
Hey.
wonderful.
Physical exercise is proven to stimulate the brain and enhance memory and keep your brain functioning as you grow older. It's a proven fact. Closest thing we have to
Hasn't worked. Yeah, it hasn't worked for me quite well, but for Susan it's been.
Okay, I see some more people are starting to come into the program. I don't want to keep you guys busy all afternoon here, but I just want to remind everyone if they have any questions to please ask them in the chat here. How's the just a little side question here? How's the Build conference going this year? Pretty interesting. What's some of the
Pretty healthy. Yeah, I mean, I've actually done a couple of interviews myself, Justin, following your lead with Todd Huff, co-organizers of Bill. So I'm looking to get that up on my blog here next week to give everyone a little bit better idea. But it's been great. It's been an exciting second iteration of the Bill conference, and a lot of great speakers. John Schlorendorn just spoke. He's a key member of the Methuselah Foundation team in research. Aubrey spoke right before him.
Did John have or Aubrey have any updates on any breakthroughs recently with lysosens or any of the other their research avenues?
Yeah, the latest from John is that he is going to start a new lab, which will have upwards of 10 researchers working with him in the next couple of months. So he's got some new initiatives going on, and generally the economy is a stumbling block, but he's got our true pioneers, and they're still focused on the mission, and they're still doing the research. So
it's been great. It's Bill is always a lot of energy here, and they've been wonderful. I in your blog, Bruce, I'll give you this to put it too, but there's two, Justin, that I thought were just unbelievable.
Okay.
One is Tom's, Toms shoes. It's the founder is Blake Mykoski, and if you guys want to see the website, it's www.tomsshoes.com. And this guy, it was amazing. He went to Ethiopia and saw these children that didn't have shoes. Anyway, long story short, for every shoe you buy, he donates one shoe to a needy child.
Wow.
And he's donated hundreds of thousands of shoes already. And it's just a great small idea that he's taken it to the next level. The other one is called EDAR, Everyone Deserves a Roof, and it's www.edar.org. And they just came up with a really cool idea as to how to have mobile housing for the homeless with this canvas that is fireproof, waterproof, windproof. Only costs $500 to manufacture, as opposed to $5,000 that the local counties it costs them to put in shelter.
Sure.
And they demonstrated it, and it's like, wait, I can pick it up, I can move it. It folds into a part, and then it folds out into a sleeping bag with a overhead canvas. So these are just two of the talks that I've seen at Bill that are, changing people's lives, and just an interesting idea that they created. So
it's also a good idea for those husbands out there who are literal bughouse. It's only $500, so probably sleep.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I could probably use one of those. Maybe, I've got a tent, but I might, if it's more portable, maybe I could use one of those canvas ideas there.
This one's light and water resistance. You might need this.
Okay, another question here. This has to do. I had this question a little bit ahead of time, but someone else brought it up. It's kind of a two-part question. how strong is the immortality concept inside the Singularity University? You're working with these advisors and the bigwigs from around the world of accelerating change, right? Do they talk
Yep.
about indefinite life extension? Do they talk about immortality?
Yeah, it's. I would say it's quite prevalent, and still there are sort of careful political considerations. We don't want to flaunt every other sentence that we're trying to live forever. But if you look at Ray's earlier book, it was Fantastic Voyage: How to Live Long Enough to Live Forever, and so Ray Kurzweil is a strong proponent. Peter Diamandis as well is a strong proponent of technologies that will allow us to live as long as we choose to live. So it is and as I said earlier, one of the tracks is, medicine and bioinformatics,
Right.
and human enhancement. So we're explicitly focused on the technologies that have a direct impact on life extension.
Okay. Life extension. Because one thing I noticed was that in your two profiles at Singularity University, nowhere was it mentioned that you're founders of the Immortality.Institute. Now, I take it from your past answer, the previous answer, that it has to do somewhat with political kind of image kind of things. Immortality is just slightly too hot of a topic to.
No, it basically boils down to I'm an idiot and I forgot to include it on my profile. I've been running like a madman,
Oh.
and
I don't know if that is in, like, for me, for example, I can't put everything that we've been involved in or founded or every job that I've been on. I do agree what you're saying, Justin, is there's some level of when you're putting your bio, maybe being the founder of certain organizations or in relationship with, for example, for me, some law firms that I've worked at or some consulting jobs that I've done. I think that for this university, the goal to help everybody is we need to launch it where we're actually making a difference and helping people. We might not be having conversations using the word immortality, but we are definitely having conversations about ideas and vision and making a difference, whether that's suffering because of biology constraints that we can solve with medicine, whether it's with technology
Yeah.
to extend intelligence or extend human life. Like, I can tell you that we do have one of our faculty members from Stanford who is focused on aging and the implications of biological aging. And he is advising us on the biology and life extension track. And he teaches a course on aging at Stanford University. So we do have thinkers that are not, it's not that they're worried or not discussing it, it's that we really want to create something that doesn't find a bottleneck, but that actually can launch and leverage the most good for everybody.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
that's basically in a way. But what personal motivations for each one of the people in the university? That's like a lot of places that you're working on. Some of it you can discuss in certain locations.
Yeah.
And need a different kind of topic.
I understand. Yeah, I kind of understand it. I just found it interesting that singularity as a term is now making it into the mainstream, and people are talking about it and not having second thoughts about what company they're in when they're talking about singularity. Even this past summer at the Intel Developers Forum, the CTO of Intel mentioned the singularity at their conference, right? So I guess immortality, is that just around the corner before, a couple of years, and people are just going to throw that term around like it was nothing?
I predict it is. I think it is.
I would hope so. And I think it's just a matter of, again, showing the community, not this community that gets it very quickly, but the rest of the community that immortality is not a term to fear. And one of the things we're discussing is human longevity, enhancement, aging. So we are talking about those things. Once you get into immortality, what we have to do is prove the science first, or make a case that is a scientific argument, and get it out of the realm of what most people think, which is science fiction or not worth it or not moral. We need to get out of that discussion and get into the science behind it And that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah,
Actually.
the way I look at it is if it is framed correctly, then everyone will be talking about it. Because ever since we've been working for the Immortality Institute with, hey, Tyler! Tyler Emerson, how you doing?
With the Immortality Institute.
Yes, yeah, it's our Sunday evening update program. Say hi to everyone here. He's at the Bill conference as well. But we were just talking about framing the word immortality in the proper way. Because ever since we started, I mean, the reason we work and the reason I work with the Immortality Institute is first and foremost to benefit all of humanity. Certainly I'm going to benefit myself as well, right? But
Right.
I think that's part of the problem is framing it correctly as that this is a goal that is desirable and that will benefit everyone and the planet as a whole as well. Would you agree with that?
I'd like to just sort of interjecting on a meta level,
Okay.
a little bit feedback going on. I'm talking over myself, but I'll try to talk about this one little nugget of an idea is that you're exactly right, Justin. It's how you frame it, and it's also just thinking about how others perceive it and what the actual projects are. So the Singularity University, to me, and I think Susan as well, was such a sort of slam dunk idea because at the core we're just trying to educate a group of people to come out of this summer 9-week program with a little different way of looking at the world and to apply those ideas in a way that can leverage technology to improve all our lives. Now I can talk to someone on the street corner about the idea of living longer, living forever, becoming an immortalist, and what kind of traction will I get? And you can do that over and over again. But if you create a sort of a system or a project or a way of interacting with people that can really scale it up and leverage it and have more of an impact, I think that's sort of the things that the Immortality Institute can do. And I think you and I have talked about it before, but what types of projects can we think about and actually implement that will have that kind of scalable effect and reaching people and really changing people, not just going up and confronting them, but really changing them and allowing them to be part of something
Right.
that they'll feel proud of and that they can apply their energy towards, that they'll know is actually improving their life and their lifespan and helping everyone around them. So I'm not sure where the project is, but I know we'll keep churning on it. We'll find some ideas.
Oh, sure.
Oh,
Yeah, we will. Sorry about that little bit of feedback coming through once in a while. That's what happens when we got
there's-
multiple video and audio feeds going here and broadcasts going on. Just a couple last questions, and then you can get back to Bill and all the fun there. I had a question here about. Do you expect a full class this summer? Do you already have? I mean, is your inbox overflowing with applicants already?
Yeah.
It is.
Yes. Susan can handle that one. I think.
Yeah, I am delighted to say that as of today, we have almost 900 submissions.
Oh my
from
word!
Almost about 60 countries.
Wow.
So global submissions, and we only have 30 slots for this summer. We will grow to hopefully a little over 100 slots for next summer. But this summer we're starting off with a core group, which will be our first alumni group. So we only have for 30, and we have about a great crop of 900 that we are having to go through in the next coming weeks.
Oh,
But
that's
I
gonna
don't
be
want
tough.
to discourage any of you if
Right.
we're looking for grad level. However, if you're not grad level but you're awesome, still send it to us. We're looking for students who excel in their own area but are creative and can think can be innovative, can work with a group. We want a really active first class, can work with a team. We want people that will really be able to cross disciplines. The whole goal is you come in with your own specialty you're working on, and can provide your own information and feed to the group, but be open to join the discussion for interdisciplinary um, projects, and then hopefully come out with a greater disciplines can help you in what you're taking on. So we want a very active class, very dynamic group, obviously very intelligent. We want the best and the brightest.
Sure.
From around the world. So I'm not discouraging anybody. Just because we've had this many, we still are we're looking for the top.
Yeah, just to reiterate, as Susan mentioned, is go ahead and if you're even having second thoughts, go ahead and submit your our form of inquiry, and your name and information will be in our databases. And we're thinking of doing some sort of online community eventually. So we'll use this information to parlay this into something that I want it to be, similar to what we've created with the Immortality.Institute, as a way for people to exchange ideas efficiently online, and to learn who else out there has similar ideas, and how they can work on projects together.
Sure.
And we're also looking for unbelievable, what we're calling TAs. So this is another that we'll be selecting, is a group of leaders that are very knowledgeable in one track or another. So they really, really excel at one of the tracks that will be TAs for the 9 weeks.
That means teacher's assistants, for those who don't know what TA means, right?
Yeah, that will basically be working very closely with the faculty advisors and overseeing the students. So they're kind of your first point of contact as a student to help you, kind of your middleman or middlewoman for the
Sure.
faculty.
Sure. I think
Middle
yeah.
is another term for it.
Yeah, a lot of people, I think, understand you have the teacher assistant position. Hey, maybe if I lose my job in this bad economy, I can come over there and be a teacher assistant. Huh?
Been a good work, definitely.
Okay. And going along with that, you mentioned online, open collaboration kind of thing. Will some of the course material
Yes.
or present?
Yeah, we're following the MIT model, which is put as many of the lectures online as possible, virtually as well. So we're going to just have this information as open and as freely available as possible. It will be online.
We're working on the logistics of how that's going to be and how we're going to do it, but we are encouraged. Ray is a great proponent of putting these courses online.
Sure.
So it's just now a matter of figuring out how we're going to do that, to what extent, like what courses will be online, because the program is divided into 3 parts. So we need to figure out what works well and is conducive to having an online community, and how we're going to set up the online community. So there's a couple of logistics issues we're still figuring out, but there is definitely a positive. Everybody seems to want the idea of some type of
Sure.
showing the courses online.
Yeah, I could understand maybe the C-level studies program. Some of that stuff maybe might not be open at first, but I imagine the graduate level would be easier to have open and online, right?
Right.
Right.
Okay, well, you know what? I want to thank all the... how do you apply to be a TA? That's the last question I'll ask you this afternoon. How do you apply to be the teacher assistant?
We'll go to the website, and at the Contact Us page, you'll find my email and contact information there, and just send directly and attach your CV.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, we should create another box with TAs with Student Corporate. That's a great question, Justin.
Okay, yeah, super. Well, hey, all right, Bruce
Thanks,
and
guys.
Bruce Klein, Susan Fonseca Klein are our guests for tonight, founders of the Immortality.Institute and representatives of the Singularity University, live from the Bill Conference out in California. Thanks for joining us this evening.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Have a good night. Okay, there you go. A wonderful interview with Bruce and Susan. Yeah, familiar faces to many of you. And great information about the Singularity University and some of the things going on with accelerating change and indefinite life extension. I want to thank everyone who had some questions there in the chat for this evening. Now, I just want to move on to some of the news of the week that we have. Some announcements here from the Immortality Institute. And one thing I want to mention is, well, since this graphic has been popping up all the while I've been doing the show, in case anyone is unaware, there is a new life extension organization in Europe, focusing on bringing the life extension idea to French and Dutch-speaking areas of Europe, and that is HEALS, founded by some Immortality.Institute members, and they are going to be putting on a little small concert this summer. I believe the date is July 14th in Brussels, Belgium, the Life Aid Against Aging concert. I just wanted to mention that. Get that out of the way first. HEALS, yeah, they're working on their website. In fact, they're officially becoming a recognized nonprofit organization in Europe very soon. They're filing their paperwork, so good news there. Great work, you guys. Sven, Didier, and Angelique, and all of you. Some of you might be in the chat here tonight watching the show. Thanks so much. Also, how about an update on our folding team? Folding at Home, the distributed computing project. Where are we at? The longevity meme team, look in the middle of the screen there, position number 88. Out of hundreds of thousands of teams in the world, the team we support, the longevity meme team, is number 88. We haven't moved up in the last week, but we are projected by early March, no, actually late February now, to move up to spot 87. There's our projection. In 2.5 weeks, if we continue our point output at 251,000 points per day, we'll be up, actually by the end of March, by the middle of March, we'll be up almost to position number 80. Hey, that's great. So keep up. And in case you didn't know, if you're just watching tonight for the Folding at Home Stanford Distributed Computing Project, the Immortality Institute offers a monthly prize, or no, not monthly, quarterly prize. You could win hundreds of dollars just by having your computers at home do folding at home. You can find out information at the Immortality Institute website. Go there. Check it out. Yes, that's our folding team. And something else that happened this week is new members of the board of directors. And I want to apologize in case I misspelt some of the names here. I was in kind of a hurry creating this graphic. But we had 4 positions that needed to be filled, and here are your new directors. The Immortality Institute governed by 7 members, a 7-member board. 4 were elected new this year. Eric Scholke, some of you know him as Broken Portal in the forums. Graham Smith, who is Zoolander in the forums. Scott Miller, who is Duke Nukem. And also Jeremy Shepard, who has been the chief navigator at the Immortality Institute over the last year and has done a super job. Hey, great job, Jeremy. I know that you were in the chat here for a while. I can't see the user list right now, but I just want to say a word or two about our new directors. Looks like a great new panel of people coming in from a wide, diverse, kind of a diverse background. Zoolander, as you know, he's already got his doctorate in muscle metabolism and aging, and Jeremy Shepard, university student, and has been chief navigator, and Eric Scholke, Broken Portal. He's got to be one of the most active members at the Institute. I think he'll be great at some grassroots organization and getting some projects going. And then also Duke Nukem. Many of you are familiar with him. He's passionate about aging. And he's also, of course, a successful business person. So that might be something that we could use on the board as well. Because mainly in the past, the board of directors has come mainly from academia. And we perhaps could use someone with good business sense, and I'm afraid that he's going to crack the whip and put me to work more hours. But perhaps that's a good thing. Maybe he can help out with some of the organization and some of the funding of the Immortality Institute. Okay, what else do I got here? Oh, job opening. Let me mention that. Where is that job opening? Here. Yes, for a secretary / accountant / website kind of person to all around help out with a bunch of different things. Now, if you only have, say, HTML expertise, or maybe you've worked with IPB forums or MySQL, MySQL, some of this stuff, you know, we would take an applicant who knows some web and software stuff, but perhaps doesn't want to do accounting. We could do that. Or we could have someone do some of our accounting for the Institute without having to worry about some of the other things such as software issues. Right now, this position is presumed to be a part-time job, about 18 hours a week. And we preferably would go with Immortality Institute members, some people we knew, are familiar with, but anyone can send a resume and cover letter to support@immints.org, support@immints.org, or if you can just contact me as well. Look for Mind in the Immortality Institute forums. And, whoa, I see in the chat, Almighty One says he's going to put 4 PS3s up and running. You know what? With 4 PS3s, you will be in the running for a quarterly prize. Because I think 4 PS3s will get you 4,000 points per day or more, depending if you have them optimized or not. And that would get you in the prize money. And, of course, Life Extension Foundation offers prizes to everyone who folds. 6-month membership toward the Life Extension Foundation, which gets you discounts on all their products and stuff like that. And they also offer gift certificates for people who fold. So there you go. Job opening, accountant or secretary, or both together. I was getting to the point where $600 per month. That's what the position pays if you can do both kind of the software side of things and the accounting side of things. One or the other, you still get some money. Maybe think about it. Just think about it. That's all I'm asking. Something else that we're hoping to get going a little bit more is organization of the Immortality Institute Wiki. Yeah, if you go to the homepage here and you click on resources, you'll see the Wiki section there. And it would be really great if we could turn the Wiki into a very valuable resource for society at large. We added just recently a supplements and lifestyle section. I know a lot of you like to talk about different supplements and diets and exercise and all of that. Hey, if you got a little nugget of knowledge, all members can edit the wiki. Go right in there and go to town. Go to town, that's what I'm telling you. Here's another shot of the Immortality Institute wiki. I think between the wiki and the forums, we could have some of the most semantically in-depth and connected content on the entire web in the entire world. It's possible. Right now, we have so much great information in the forums, but one of the things that people often comment on that is a little bit of a drawback is that it's slightly unorganized, right? We all know it. I mean, people go there. That's one of the assets of the Institute forums, is that they're open. They're kind of grassroots, kind of an organic organization of the forums. And it's not, just laid out in neat little chunks, right? You have to kind of dig through it. Well, with the wiki, we certainly could organize it a bit more. And then we can take that content and publish it. Maybe publish dietary guidelines or the most up-to-date supplement research, things like that. I think it could be great for the Institute and benefit society at large, that's for sure. We talked a little bit about the HEALS organization, but you might remember also M-Theory, the Methuselah Foundation Undergraduate Research Initiative. Last year, the Immortality Institute did provide $2,000 worth of scholarship money. And you can see here's some of the research that's being done, some of the activities being done by M-Fury, glucosapan research, tau protein research that's responsible for Alzheimer's. And I should say glucosapan is one of those advanced glycation end products in your body, the junk that builds up as you age. And it's one of the primary reasons why skin gets wrinkled, is because of the buildup of glucosapan. And some Institute members have been investigating this already, and perhaps we can get some research going with the Undergraduate Research Initiative here, M-Fury. I'll put up the website in case you want to go there and take a look at it. Hey, their website is really looking sharp now. They upgraded it early this year, and Kelsey Moody, the director of M-Fury, the head honcho, the big cheese, he told me he's going to write a little report on what has been done so far with some of the money that the Institute has donated for scholarship money and some of the other grant money, what they're doing, and we're going to have that report in the forums and on the front page in a couple of weeks. I'll make sure. He said in a couple of weeks he's going to have a report. That would be awesome. How about the hot news of the week? Well, the one thing I could come up with, I know people are talking about a lot lately in the forums, is about diet. Carbohydrates, sugar, protein, fat. What's best? What should you avoid? Well, here was there it advanced. Okay, let's get back. Where is that? Okay, hot news. Here we go. Alzheimer's is being increasingly linked with diabetes. And for those who know about the metabolism of carbs and sugar and what it does to your circulatory system and how the sugars can form the advanced glycation end products and bind with proteins and build up junk in your body, this shouldn't be a big surprise that Alzheimer's is linked with diabetes. People who get diabetes have a higher incidence of Alzheimer's. In fact, Dr. Margaret Gatz from the University of Southern California found out that in a study of Swedish twins, they discovered that developing type 2 diabetes before the age of 65 was associated with a 125% increase risk of subsequently developing Alzheimer's disease. So that's another reason to eat healthy. First of all, you don't want to get diabetes, you don't want to get obese, and you don't want to lose your mind. You don't want to get Alzheimer's. So you want to make sure not to overload on the carbs and on the refined sugars and the refined grain products. It's kind of bad for you. So anyway, that's your hot news of the week. And I just want to check the chat once more here to see if anyone else is talking. Oh yeah, Model Cat. I saw you're promoting the team initiative, which is another thing that the Institute is hopefully going to get the wheels turning here. And if you want to stick around after this show is over, I'm going to stick around too, so we can kind of talk about the team concept here and see what we need to do to get the wheels in motion on that. Model Cat has been excited about setting that up, and that is to leverage the artificial intelligence that we have right now, some narrow AI programs. One of the ones that has been mentioned in particular is BioMind from Novamente. Some of you might be familiar with that, some of you might not. But to leverage our artificial intelligence software that we have right now to help us with biotechnology and anti-aging interventions and hopefully it'll blossom from there as an undergraduate research initiative type thing. And the name that we come up with it so far, that Model Cat came up with, is TEAM, T-E-M-E, and Model Cat. You might put that in the chat here. But yeah, great name. It's like teamwork, but it's team, like technological meme. I thought it was a fantastic name. But yeah, so at least starting is half the battle. Getting a name, getting some ideas rolling. We're going to talk about it a little bit here after the show is over with. And hopefully that's another initiative we can really expand in 2009, as well as help support HEALS and their initiatives and M-Fury, things like that. So that's going to be about it. I don't see that we really have too much chat going on, but I'll stick around afterwards. As you know, we sometimes have a little fun after the show is over with, after the official recording is done. We had some great guests this week, Bruce and Susan. I want to thank them once again for appearing on the Sunday evening update. And I don't have an explicit guest yet for next week, Sunday, February 15th. But I do have a couple that I've been trying to chase down. The new executive director of ELCOR, Jennifer Chapman. For some reason, I've been emailing ELCOR for a couple weeks now, or since last week. And it's like they're totally out of communication with the world, as far as email goes anyway. But we'll see if we can get Jennifer Chapman on. And then also I've been working on getting Dr. Michael Rose, Peter Persaro, Stuart Olshansky, and at some point we'll have Aubrey de Grey on this year to promote things that the Methuselah Foundation will be doing And so I've got a few guests that I'm trying to chase down. Next week we'll have a show no matter what. No guest, it'll be maybe a little shorter show. That would be about it. But anyway, thanks for stopping by on this Sunday, February 8th. This has been the Sunday Evening Update. I'm Justin Lowe, your host. The program brought to you by the Immortality Institute. Have a good night, everyone.